All right, here we go. We are 14 days away from leaving. 14 days, 14 short days away from leaving. So we're trying to get everything together to be able to leave on our cruise on the Harmony of the Seas. I'm very, very excited, and so is my husband. The plan is to pack this weekend, so I'm not totally stressed out next weekend before we go, so we can enjoy it and spend time with our kids and our family and not have to be rush, rush, rush. And that way, if we need to buy anything, we can do that too. So things that we do before we go, besides packing, obviously, is this cruise is a little bit different because normally on Royal Caribbean we use our WOW bands, and but my husband likes to put his SeaPass card on a lanyard. Everything on all the blogs I've been reading say that you cannot do that. That'll mess up some magnetic chip or something that's in the SeaPass cards. And so you're not supposed to do it because it'll ruin it. You have to go to get a new card at guest services. So he and I kind of have a bet going. He has looked up and they're actually, what's the word I'm looking for? People have x-rayed Harmony of the Seas cards, so you can like see where the mechanics of it are, and he's going to take a hole punch because they won't do it at the front desk. Everybody says, no, 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 you have to bring your own hole punch. So he's going to bring his own hole punch and see if he can do it. So hopefully he won't mess it up and have to go wait in line at the front desk. I think we should probably get his WOW band activated just in case, because at least that'll work for drinks and purchases and getting into the room. And so at least I'll have that and we could stop by at a slow time. He is, hi Tessa Doodle, hello. That we only really need the SeaPass card to get off the ship. So, but he just likes to use it because when you get a drink, you have to take the WOW band off, give it to the bartender. Doesn't like to do that. So anyways, we'll see what happens with that. And of course, they'll give you an update, as to what happens with that. So that's one thing we've been talking about. So we'll both bring lanyards. We'll both bring WOW, the WOW bands. Hi, Sloan. And figure out what works best. The other thing that we always do before we leave, and we have a morning ritual starting after we book, to log onto our account at royalcaribbean.com, look at our reservation and see if the tours and that sort of thing, and more importantly, the shows are available to book. So every morning we get up, we have our routine, we sit down, have our coffee. Eddie's at the computer and I ask him, are the shows available to book yet? Are the shows available to book yet? And every morning he goes, yes, but he's just kidding. So finally we were at about, I think 90 days out and they were available. So I always recommend booking the shows as soon as you can because certain shows only play on certain nights. And so, or days or what have you, want to make sure that you have the biggest selection the most times available so you can coordinate your dining and make sure you get to see all the shows you want to see and at the times you want to see. Perfect example is Greece. There wasn't a bunch of super convenient times. There was, I think, 8:30 on the first day, 10:30, and these are all evening times on the second night, and then like the last day at sea or something like that. So the show's a couple hours long, so we're so used to going to bed really early and getting up early. Like we go upstairs to bed at 8 o'clock at night and then get up at 4:30 in the morning. So the thought of having to watch an hour and a half, 2-hour show that starts at 10:30 after a long day, like we would totally fall asleep and wouldn't be able to make it, I'm sure, if we were just sitting there watching. So anyways, I certainly don't want to do it the last day at sea because you want to be doing all your last minute things. If you're going to buy pictures or souvenirs or just relax or a dining venue you haven't had a chance to go to yet or whatever. So anyways, I didn't want to do that. So 8:30 on the first day isn't ideal, but it's better than the alternative. So because I really, really, really want to see Greece. Any show we've seen on an Oasis class ship, any of their productions, Broadway productions have been awesome. awesome. So I totally want to see that. So we signed up for that. And I also was able to sign up for the rest of the shows and just tried to make them the most convenient times possible. This time we are doing My Time Dining, and we also are going to do, we decided to do, we like the dining packages, but we've been to several of the restaurants before, so we just couldn't decide what we wanted to do. So there's a deal where, like a buy one, get one deal, where if you book and agree to go to your specialty dining restaurant on the first and second nights, it's only $40 a person total. So that's like a really, really good deal. Basically, you book it online, and then they tell you what time your dinner is going to be and where when you get on the High Sloan, when you get on to the ship. And so we figure, you know, then if you want to change it, you can. And then you also need to book your second night one as well. So being on Royal Caribbean ships before, we were struggling to decide what we wanted to do. So each of us picked a restaurant. I picked Wonderland, even though we've been to it like, I don't know, gosh, 4 times now. Never on an Oasis class ship though, always on the Anthem. And anyway, but the Wonderland is in such an awesome location on the Oasis ship, and it's so big. It's like floor to ceiling windows overlooking Central Park. And so I think Central Park, anyways, whatever, it's over, or the boardwalk, one or the other. And so I totally wanted to, even though the menu will be very similar, if not exactly the same, I wanted to try that. Plus they had a bar and with cool drinks and stuff, and we're in the drink package, so I wanted to do that. Eddie chose, he normally would chose the steakhouse chops, but he likes a ribeye steak. And looking at the chops menu, ribeyes cost extra. So I think he's going to end up choosing Jamie's Italian. Yeah. They had a ribeye on the menu and he'd be able to get that or whatever. And so we went, I think that's what we're going to end up doing when we get on the ship. I guess it'll all depend on what's available when we get there, but that's the plan. And we'll do that right when we get on. The Harmony just rolled out. It's, got about a month ago, got the newest app, so hopefully right when we get on board we can connect to our Wi-Fi, because we got a really good deal on the Voom and deluxe drink package all together, and so we should be able to log on right away and hopefully make changes or go to wherever we need to do to confirm dining. So we'll do that right when we get on board. The other thing is we don't always get the drink package because we're Diamond members, so we do get 3 drinks kind of during happy hour. They're real basic drinks. There's like no blended drinks or anything like that. They're not super fancy ones. And so it's beer, wine, and basically some type of alcohol in a mixer or whatever. And since we're cruising without kids this time, which I'm super excited, not that I don't love my children, but it just makes for a different experience when you're traveling with kids or a group when it's just you and your husband. So this is like my favorite. So it's just going to be Eddie and I. So we'll completely be able to relax. But with that said, I want to be able to try any drink that I want. So we've been looking at drink lists and that sort of thing. I actually have it printed out, and I haven't told Eddie, but I want to look over and see the different drinks, because the nice thing about it, if you don't like something, then guess what? Don't drink it, throw it away. I know that sounds super wasteful, but the chances are I'm probably going to pick things that I really like. But it's always, you know, when you're paying $10 for a drink and then you don't like it and have to throw it away, like that sucks. And so you tend not to be as adventurous, at least I don't. So, because I can't drink very much, so I got to be very particular. The other thing that in the deluxe drink package, which is super awesome, I'm super excited, is, I know this sounds silly, but I love fresh squeezed orange juice, and so normally I wouldn't splurge and pay for that, but it's included in the package, so I really look forward to. I don't drink orange juice at home. 9 times out of 10, it's always on a cruise when I drink it, so to get the fresh squeezed orange juice every morning, awesome, I totally love it. So, and we also both of us drink tons of water. And so being in the Caribbean, it'll be hot. We'll probably be drinking even more water. We like to have lots of water in our room. And so, and anyway, so we'll go through lots of water. We both also like to have like a latte or a mocha or whatever in the morning. And so we have at least one of those. So we will, that'll be included in the package as long as you go to the Promenade Cafe and not to Starbucks. So that's very cool. So that's a great value. The other thing that I like to do, and sometimes we do it in the morning, not all the time, but we'll get like Bailey's or something to put in our coffee at dinner in the evening, and that's just, it just tastes yummy, and it's kind of a fun thing to do. But if, you know, again, you're paying by drink, you think, okay, I really don't need that. But and then the other, I like when we're out by the pool, I like to have the mixed drinks, like the Miami Vices, and somebody has been talking, I've been seeing on some of the groups we belong to on Facebook about Kraken rum and that sort of thing. So I want to make sure I try that. And so it'll just be fun, and it's nice just to know that you can get whatever you want to drink. It doesn't matter. It's all already paid for. We are going to do, try to at least, I'm not sure how we're going to keep track of it, but try to keep track of the drinks that we get. Just to, it's always fun to know when you save money. I love to save money and get a good deal. So to keep track of that, that'll be interesting if we can. We'll probably get lazy and stop, but I'm going to try to this time. Anytime we've got a drink package, we've said we're going to do that. The other thing, which we've been like total Royal Caribbean heads lately, and so any cruises for the most part for the past probably 3 or 4 years have strictly been Royal Caribbean, and a handful of them, most of them have been on Oasis class ships, and they've had that Voom internet, which has been totally awesome. And so we like to catch up on our TV shows and that sort of thing, and we will stream them in the evening in the cabin. So Voom totally works for that, and we totally do that. So we are getting the internet package this cruise. So that will be, I can't remember, I want to say, and I could be lying, I think it's $52 a person per day or $62. I'm not sure. I know that Eddie is constantly watching the price of it because they'll have sales. And if you book it, hi TD. If you book it, it's a Tessa Doodle. Hi Tessa Doodle. My two loves, cruising and Doodles. If you book it and the price goes down, all you have to do is cancel it, and then you just rebook it. It's kind of pain in the rear, but anyways, it's just, so basically you always get the best price possible on stuff because you can cancel it off your cruise planner on Royal Caribbean's website and then rebook it. So anyway, so we're going to do that. We have also, we're kind of on the fence about what we wanted to do. The itinerary wasn't really ideal as far as most Eastern Western Caribbean. Like, we've been to all the places, we've done pretty much anything that we've wanted to do. So it's always kind of a tough deciding what we want to do. So Labadee, obviously, that's totally awesome day. We'll just get off the ship and most likely head over to Columbus Cove, which is kind of by the Bouncy House Water Park. That's where we normally go. It's the farthest beach away, so usually has the least amount of people. We can always get a chair in the shade or whatever, and so that's probably where we'll head this time. And probably we've done Dragon's Breath zip line once before, which was amazing. But it was expensive. Well, probably definitely won't do that again, unless for some reason somebody gave it to us or something. And we normally also, with the kids, they in the past have always wanted to do those bouncy things in the ocean. Yeah, don't need to do those without them. Like, they're totally hard to get up and they're fun, but we won't need to do those without the kids, and our kids are getting so old now that they probably could care less too. And I think last time we were there with the kids, again, we did jet skis, and so Sophia rode with Eddie. Quentin rode with myself. And anyways, that was super fun. Now I'll have to check. Quentin can definitely drive a jet ski by himself because he's 18 or older than 18 and has his license. Sophia has her license. I'll have to check and see if you have to be 18 or if 16 and license works to drive. That might be kind of fun to go with them when they drive or whatever, a jet ski. That will be cool. Anyway, so we probably won't do anything in Labadee, but just hang out and relax and have a Labadoozy. And then in Jamaica, we've never seen a tour offered to the Blue Hole, but we've seen tons of videos about it. And anyway, finally we saw Royal Caribbean is offering a tour. That should be super fun. We'll be able to report on that and tell you more about that. Some rope swings in the waters and some climbing some waterfalls, and it also includes like a river tubing thing and lunch, and so that should be super fun, and that'll be in Falmouth, Jamaica. And lastly, we're going to Cozumel, Mexico, which is always a super fun port. There's so much stuff to do. We have been looking online again and watching videos about Mr. Sancho's and what's the other one called? Newcomb or something like that, where they're kind of like all-inclusive beach days. And so we've been looking at those, and I've also thought about doing like Sandals for a day because I've always wanted to go to a Sandals resort or whatever. And just in talking about it and the to try to save money, it seems we have all-inclusive drink package. It'd be silly to go pay someplace else for all-inclusive. So I don't think we're gonna do anything. We may just get off the ship and go shopping or something like that. But I don't think we're going to do anything. We usually do try to stick with the cruise line tours unless it's like take a cab to like a Mr. Sancho's for the day or whatever. So I guess we can always do that last minute. That Telecom or Newcom or whatever it's called has, my understanding is they only accept a certain amount of people in each day. So everybody's saying, oh, if you don't book it, you may not be able to get in, so on and so forth. So but it's supposed to be a lot more mellow than Mr. Sancho's, less crowded, just smaller, whatever. So we'll see. I don't know what we'll do. We'll tell you when we get back or what have you. And so if not, we can just stay on the ship and hang out, and that should be a nice day as well, no matter what we decide to do. So the other thing that people, friends and family ask me about, do you book your shore excursions to the ship or do you go out on your own and find other tour companies to use? So 9 times out of 10, we will book an actual tour through the ship. It hasn't always been like that, but always with the kids, we book through the ship 9 times out of 10 for sure. Now they're getting older, that could be different, but one time it was in Jamaica. We went on, there was a group of us, my mom and Jim were with us, and I think Chris and Tina and the kids were with us too, maybe not. Anyway, we took a really fun sailboat snorkeling trip, and we got back to the dock, and you go back to this restaurant and there's nothing but literally like bumper to bumper traffic and a million people on this tiny little sidewalk. Everybody's trying to get back to the ship. This excursion wasn't booked through the ship. And so we're all trying to get back. We're so worried we're going to miss the ship and be late. And we were there like an hour and they kept saying, oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Finally, my husband was like, look, we're getting in this cab, in like a van cab. We're going back to the ship. You're paying for it. We're not paying for it. And they fought about it, went back and forth. Finally, he just, since he's so tall and assertive, and so in a little bit he can, he is tall and broad shoulders, kind of intimidating, very handsome. Anyway, so he just basically kind of pushed his way. It wasn't like 4-lane traffic. It was just a small street with 2 lanes, kind of pushed his way through, said, we're getting in this van. They're paying for it, the tour people, and got us back to the ship. But it was really close, and it was a little bit too close for comfort. And if we're on a ship tour, they would have waited for us. But since we booked it independently, they would have left because they have no idea where we are. So that was a little bit scary and always a reminder, especially when you go a little bit farther away from the ship. to do an excursion, even though you save money typically, but it's like, oh, is it worth it for the stress? So I'm trying to get back. So anyway, it just kind of depends. There's no hard, fast answer as to what we do with that. What else? I think that's it. So I am going to start packing. Like I said, got all our laundry done and everything, and just kind of start. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I wanted to buy packing cubes, but didn't get around to it. So normally we way overpack. Normally our suitcases are way too heavy. We end up having to shuffle things around, and when we have Quentin and Sophia's suitcases to stuff stuff in, it's fine. But when it's the two of us, we don't have that option, and normally the heaviest stuff is the sunscreen and the bug repellent and those heavy like bathroom items that you can't take through security, so it's always kind of a pain in the rear. So, and I say this every single time we go on vacation, I'm going to try to pack light and pack exactly what we need. Needless to say, literally we come home with a suitcase of dirty clothes and a suitcase of clothes we didn't wear. So silly. But I am really honestly going to try to pack more specific outfits. Normally for Eddie, I'll just say, okay, he needs to bring 5 shorts and 7 t-shirts or whatever, and I'll just start going, oh, I like this t-shirt, and throwing in shirts that I like or whatever, but I really think I'm going to look at the color of the shorts and like literally pack specific outfits and not overpack. I'm really going to try to do that. Same for me. We'll see, but literally every time I go on a trip for the last 20 years, that's what I say, it never happens. And we end up stressed out at the airport, shuffling crap around, even though we weigh them before we go. It never seems to be right. And then I'm doing something new this year because I always make the packing list for the family. So I make a list for each person, what they need to bring or whatever. And so I found some really cool packing lists online that are kind of basic or whatever. It's for cruises specifically, but I mean, it breaks it down from clothes to bathroom stuff to electronic stuff, miscellaneous. So anyway, I am going to try, and I've made one for Eddie already, and I'm going to try to do one for myself and kind of pack accordingly, and almost pack like the shorts and the shirts and things that go together right by each other. I don't know if I'll end up doing that. I probably end up throwing a bunch of crap in the bag and stressing. That's what I always do. It's ridiculous. So maybe this time I'll be organized. Yeah, that's what I'm telling myself. I'll be organized. And clean out the purse I'm gonna take and the backpack and get everything all ready. We'll see. It never seems to work like I had hoped, so I will let you know. I guess that's it for now. Tessa Doodle has gone down and now she wants to go outside, so I need to let her do that. And then here's the baby boy. It's Sloan Doodle. And he always wants everyone to pet his big fat belly. Not going to do that. So there's a dog barking outside. Inevitably these two, yep, there they go. All right. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.